It's official, we've hit double figures and episode 10 is upon us. This week we take a look at two big hitters from the console realm that are making their way over to the iPhone, and catch our first glimpses of Firemint Street Racing and SciFly 2. To finish off, we've reviews of Fantastic Contraption, Payback and Blue Attack. So ready those peepers for another gush of iPhone gaming gold. The iPhone is set to receive two heavyweight licenses borrowed from the hallowed next-generation consoles, which should help to further cement the iPhone's reputation as an essential gaming handheld. First of all, Hands On Mobile has picked up the rights to Prey, a first-person shooter in which the reluctant Cherokee hero Tommy must save his girlfriend from an invading horde of mucus-drenched aliens. Yep, that old chestnut. Obviously the game won't look quite as shiny as this footage of the Xbox 360 and PC version, but it is promised to be a full-on first-person shooter with all of the topsy-turvy gravity-defying antics of the original. Can't wait. The next title is a bit less clear. We know that Bethesda is planning an App Store release, but what license the game will be based on is still a mystery. Obviously, Oblivion and Fallout 3 are hot contenders, but there's also a chance that Bethesda could have something original planned. Either way, the veteran developer's venture onto the platform can only be a good thing, so we have high hopes. More on this in the coming weeks. Licentia Software has just released a video of SciFly 2, which sports a major bump in visual fidelity over its predecessor, SciFly Dogfight. Seeing as the original game made deft use of the accelerometer for some smooth aeronautical controls, SciFly 2 is a rock-solid foundation to layer some extra polish on. We're hoping for a Wi-Fi multiplayer option too, so look out for a review with all the details in the not-too-distant future. The racing genre is really pushing the iPhone's capabilities forward, and Firemint Real Racing looks like it could be about to set the standard to beat when it's released. With lots of varied trackside detail and a driver's seat view of the action, the game is already a visual triumph. Hopefully it will have the speed and depth of challenge to match when it's released. As ever, a review is on its way.
Every successful military campaign strikes a balance between offence and defence, but Blue Attack sequesters the latter, making its colourful war between red and blue a matter of constant aggression. It's your aim to smash the invaders before they reach your base. You're accompanied by a squad of wingmen, which can be upgraded and expanded with each passing level. Since your fighters automatically fire, skillful navigation is the key, which is handled via either tilt or touch controls. The enemy ships have weak outer bodies consisting of leafy shapes and spheres, but it's the core that's really important, and shooting this down wipes out the rest of the ship in a single blow. The upgrades are drip-fed through consistent play and reward structure which, coupled with the management of wingmen formations, makes for a shooter that, though one-paced, still offers reasonable tactical depth. It's questionable, though, just how long Blue Attack can entertain. Though beautifully presented and straightforward, it is a one-trick pony with little variation coming from the slow creep of enemy ships. Blue Attack is gorgeous to look at and offers up some great shooty thrills. Just don't expect to be gripped long-term.
Payback starts well enough, with impressive presentation, not to mention the feat of cramming a dozen urban playgrounds into an iPhone game. There are even times when Payback offers something close to freedom as you traipse about committing various crimes. The start of the problems is in the perspective. The many sky bridges and walkways often obscure your view of the action, and fences that are seemingly a single pixel thick regularly block off routes to important play areas. The other big problem is that Payback's flimsy narrative is just a string of unrelated criminal acts that scarcely constitute an engaging story. A good dose of senseless violence might have been entertaining if it wasn't for the infuriating mission timer, horrid targeting system and repetitive mission objectives, all of which conspire to rob the game of enjoyment. There is the occasional gratifying set piece, such as when you get to raise merry hell with a tank, and on another mission when you are tasked with gunning down a gaggle of robed KKK members. It is also commendable that attempts to stretch the voice talent as far as possible have been made, with a range of almost passable accents speckling the game's thin dialogue. But these small mercies don't change the fact that Payback is fundamentally broken in all of the crucial areas, and ultimately, it's not the sandbox action title we were hoping for.
Fantastic Contraption is like one of its own primitive machines. Once you spent enough time figuring out what to do with all the bits, the ordinary suddenly becomes remarkably dynamic and entertaining. It's a game that appears reluctant to reveal its good qualities until, with a single button press, all your frustrating effort pays off and a fantastic contraption springs to life. You're presented with a light blue box housing a small red shape, which is a simple interpretation of a workshop. The light pink box elsewhere on the screen is your goal. Getting the red geometric shape to the goal means cobbling together a system of wheels, weights and axles for transport. Assembly on a small screen would be impossible without the up-close view that appears in the top corner of the screen. This feature saves Fantastic Contraption, but also highlights one of its inherent flaws. The cluttered interface makes assembly trying, and the pop-up instructions often obscure important parts of the action. Despite this, Fantastic Contraption boasts an addictiveness normally associated with Tetris, Bejeweled, or nicotine. Just don't expect every minute to be entertaining, because it's a pretty even split between invigorating fun and painful perseverance.
Thanks for watching the Pocket Gamer iPhone Gaming Podcast. If you're looking for more iPhone gaming news, reviews and features, you can download the Pocket Gamer iPhone application from the App Store. Or just point your Safari browser at www.pocketgamer.co.uk/iPhone. Better still, why not subscribe to this very podcast, which can be found under Games and Hobbies in the podcast section of iTunes. That's it for now, so until next time, happy Pocket Gaming.